Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. I have a multimeter here today to review. This was sent to me free of charge by AliExpress as a review sample, but I'm not being paid to make this video, so whatever my conclusion is, this will be my honest opinion. So let's have a look to see what's inside the box. And we can see we have the multimeter XDM1241 55,000 count multimeter. This is a 5-digit display. We have some multimeter leads, USB cable, USB to power lead, and some clips for the probes as well. And in the bottom of the box is the user manual. Let's have a quick look to see how much this costs, and then we'll unpack it and let's see how well it works. Here we can see the multimeter on AliExpress. There are two versions of this. I have the 1241 version. You can see these are around 105 euros. There are a number of sellers of these. This includes VAT, so if you are outside of a VAT area, for example, as I am myself, then I get 21% off this anyway. But even if you are in a VAT area, you can save money because I have the exclusive coupon codes available to all viewers. And you can see we have coupon codes available for various price points, generally saving around 10% of the cost. Okay, so now we know how much these cost and how you can save yourself some money. Let's have a look at the multimeter. Let's see how well it performs. And here is the multimeter. So this is the first bench multimeter I've ever reviewed. In actual fact, we'll just take the screen protector off. This can be powered either from a 5-volt lead, so connecting to a power supply, USB to power jack that actually came with it, the cable. It can also be powered from USB-C as well. The other USB connection, this is for connecting to your computer. Comes with a lead. Supply 5 volts, 2 amps. This is also battery powered as well, so it has a lithium battery. Hold the power button in, we can see, in fact, the battery is charged at the moment. It seems to be fully charged. This is how it arrived in the post to me. We'll place this like so because it's easy for you guys to see. We have a couple of clips. The meter probes are fairly sharp, and I think these will actually fit inside these as well. Yeah, so you can just put the clips on as well, just handy if you may be clipping your ground lead. The cables, I guess they're about 1 meter without measuring them. Okay, they seem fairly standard quality, the leads. The probes, they fit in nicely though. Let's put the multimeter through its paces. I'll show you first just using the multimeter, and then I'll show you how to connect this to your PC and how you can use them that way. Now, I will be honest, it took me quite a while to figure out how to do this with a PC. So I'm going to show you guys how it's done, where to get the drivers and software you need. Okay? But first of all, let's try the multimeter itself. And I'll start in the place I normally start with multimeters, which is the ohms range. Yeah, this one in fact is continuity mode. It's telling me here, so continuity, diode, resistance. Okay. I have an option here, so I have range, which I can select manually or auto. Okay, so this gives me various ranges. I can go through 2 different screens. I'll leave it on auto just for now, and let's try some low value resistors. So these are my dual 0.22 ohm resistors. Between the center and either end pin is 0.22 of an ohm, and across the 2 end pins is 0.44. Let's see how it works and how well it works. I'll just apologize before I start, by the way, about the reflection. This is from my overhead lighting in my workshop. Okay, and normally you would have the meter facing towards you like so, but for filming to show you guys I have to do it this way. So what do we get? Let's see. Well, this is reading 0.7 roughly it's a 0.44, 0.5. So the difference is about 0.2. Let's just see how it zeros, or if we can zero this. So this says 0.35. It's given me various things, average and such like. Can I just zero this? Let's have a look. Let's try this on the manual range. So we're going to range 500 ohm, okay. Oh, there's a relative button. This will probably help us. So we'll go with the leads shorted together. Okay, we'll press rel. That now goes to 0. Just again. Yeah, it's basically 0. Now let's measure our resistor. That's very close. 0.28. Okay, so this is working rather well in actual fact on the manual range for very low value resistors. We're back on auto, and we don't have, and we still have the rel function on auto, so let's just try it. We'll short the leads together. Hit the rel button, 0. Let's go again. .28, 0.42. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. That works very well with the low value resistors, especially having this rel button. It's a very nice, easy way to zero the meter. That works as well as any multimeter I've tried without Kelvin probes to read low value resistors. I like that. Okay, let's try with a 1K resistor. What does this read? Just about right, really. Let's just press this speed button. So mid, high. Let's get to high speed. Does that affect the accuracy of the reading at all? No. Oh, that works to me much nicer on high speed. I like that. I'm just going to try the low value resistor again on high speed. 0.22. Reads 0.36. Short the leads together. Just hit rel. Okay, try again. .31. Yeah, I think it looks like it reads a little bit more accurately on the low speed. You know what? Let's try the medium speed, see how well that works. Go for the halfway house, yeah. How does it work? Let's see. Yeah, 0.29. Okay. Let's try a very high value resistor. So these ones, 10 mega, the highest that I actually have. What does it read? 11, 10.8, 10.7. You've seen me measure these resistors before. They're not very accurate. They're not particularly close tolerance resistors, these. Okay. Let's try the continuity test. So, continuity. We have a threshold at 50 ohms, so we can change the threshold, I would say. Yeah, in fact, we can enter a value. So this must be the threshold at which it bleeps. You see, so it is bleeping. We can change the threshold. Okay, that's quite loud as well, actually. It's also pretty fast, to be quite honest, as well. Yep. So we get a continuous bleep. I expect with the diode it won't read anything. Let's try. So 1M4007 silicon rectifier diode on continuity. Oh, actually reads like a resistor basically. Okay. How about a Schottky diode on resistance continuity range? Yeah, it's kind of reading like you'd expect, but showing in ohms. Let's try diode mode. So, diode mode, we have beeper on. We have a threshold level. Okay, so here we go. No bleep, but it's above the threshold. Let's try this Schottky diode. Oh, interesting. It bleeps continuously. And on a short, it bleeps continuously. Oh, that's a shame. I would rather like that to have given a blip on the diode and a bleep continuous. I wonder if it's possible to upgrade the firmware on this. That would really be what I wanted. And this one doesn't bleep, but I guess if we change the threshold we can make it do that. Is it these arrows? Just a guess. Okay. Yeah. So we can set the threshold or bleep on that. But that's not really how I would like it to behave. I would like it to do the Mr. Bleep test. So continuous bleep on short, blip on a diode, and that would have been ideal for me. But bear in mind, most multimeters don't behave in that way. I'm now on capacitance range, and I will say this doesn't work well with small value capacitors. I've tried 1 picofarad and 10 and so on. I mean, the lowest this should read would be 10 picofarads. This is a 100 picofarad, and it just says 0. It won't read it. I'll just try another one to be sure. So again, 100 picofarads. Yeah, this can't read capacitors in the small values. This is a 500 picofarad. But smaller ones like this, so this is 220 picofarad. It just doesn't want to read them. Let's go to 100 nanofarads. Auto range. Yeah, 100 nanofarads, it reads that one. But it's a bit slow. See? Let's try something really large like a 3300. How well does it read it? Well, on the auto range it just takes ages. Yeah, look, I mean, a very long time, guys. Let's switch it into the manual range. So, next, let's see, 3300. Should be that range. Okay, what's it do now? Yeah, much faster, okay. How does it do with the 100 nanofarads if I set the range? So, we'll put it to the 500 nanofarad range. We'll try our 100 nanofarads again. A bit quicker. So capacitors, it reads them fine, but I think that really is rather slow, to be quite honest, compared to other multimeters I have tried. Admittedly, none of them are particularly quick on capacitors, whereas a dedicated capacitance meter is, but this does take a very long time. Let's have a look at current, especially on the very low amp range. I'm interested to see how well this works. So we go onto the amps button. I'm going to connect my lead into the milliamps and microamps. Okay, and I want to set this to microamps. Let's see how we do that. Just on auto, so it doesn't seem to have a particular range for microamps, just amps. DC or AC. Same with volts, DC or AC. This gives a auto 500 millivolt range, I noticed. Current again, auto 5 amps. Let's hit range. Yeah, auto 5 amps. Okay. So this is my usual test for a multimeter. Can I read the current that the real-time clock reads from the battery? Okay, let's see. So just push this back. And this should give me a reading in microamps. And it didn't, but I figured out why. So function button now gives me microamps or amps. Okay, so let's see what we get now. Positive onto the battery and black lead push the clip back. Oh yeah, that's nice. And it was quick as well. Yeah, about 2 microamps. Yeah, fine. Okay, so that worked okay. I'll just try the 10 amp range on my bench power supply. I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. So 10 amps, set it to amps. I have my bench power supply there, so we'll just plug this in. And let's see, so we'll just turn the current up. Yeah, 10 amps. Okay. Very fast responding. I think that's absolutely fine. Okay. And we'll have a quick just look at the voltage range just out of interest. Just go to volts, DC. So set my supply to 1 volt, 1.05, 1.06. Bear in mind this only has 2 digits in actual fact. It still says 1 volt, 1.009. Okay. Just at that point the range changes here, 1.01 or thereabouts. So yeah, that's working fine reading voltage. I'll show you now how to connect this to your computer and how it looks once it's on the computer. Okay, so to install the software for the multimeter, you need this download. I struggled to find this. I couldn't find it on the Owon site. I found a third-party app that works with this multimeter allegedly, but there was no download available on the GitHub. So I'll put this in the video description for you guys. I'll put it onto my Google Drive. I found a download from another YouTube video. It was all in Spanish. Fortunately, my Spanish was enough to understand this one, and there was a link in his video description as well, but I'll give you my own link and then you've got it there. Once you unzip that, you have 3 things. So you have this one first, this NIVZ. Okay, online repack. This takes ages to install. It does some online installer. I had a look to see if the consensus was that this is safe, and it is. I found some links to Eve blog. They use this to control some oscilloscopes as well. They said it was safe, so I'm okay with that. Number 2, install the Windows USB drive. Now I didn't actually have to install this on my computer. It detected the instrument, the multimeter. So I'm connecting via USB. Now it doesn't pop up as a USB device, but if you go to the device manager, just put it into search, find device manager, and you will see ports. Okay, and in ports, that's it, USB serial CH140 COM10 on my machine. So if I unplug the multimeter, I'll just do it, you'll see that disappears. Plug the multimeter back in, it appears. Okay, so make a note of the COM10, and then you have to install this one, number 3, run setup, and that installs the actual software. Okay, and once it's installed, it doesn't appear as a shortcut on your desktop. Of course you could make one, well, at least it didn't on my machine, but it appears here, DMM Easy Control. And in here, Control, Connect, choose Viacom. Okay, and there's the COM10. Okay, and now it's got the multimeter. So if I switch the multimeter on, it's there. Once you've done this, you'll find you can control the multimeter from here, and you can also control it from here. Okay, so you can control it from both. So we'll go back to resistance, ohms, okay, continuity test, and you'll see, you can hear it, and it's popping up on the screen, okay. The bleep comes first, and up it comes, yeah. You can also change the range from here as well. You can change the speed. So let's put it onto high speed, okay. Much faster now. So that works quite well on the computer. If I rearrange my recording setup a little bit, so I'll actually have to install this on my other PC and then use OBS as a window capture, I'll be able to display this and resize it somewhere in the corner of my PC. So you can see the multimeter up in the corner, for example, yeah, somewhere there to the side of me, yeah. And just to show the multimeter working on my bench, yeah, you can see it there in my recording quite nicely. Let me know what you think about that, yeah. Do you like it? Of course, we can always position it somewhere else. Okay. So I can put the display there when I'm actually working on things, and I won't have to mess around with the camera to get that on screen. So because of the ease of use for myself making YouTube videos, I'm going to use this for a while. Let's see if it makes life easier for me. The only things I dislike about it really are the fact the capacitance range doesn't seem to work well on low value capacitors, but it's not so often I need to measure them, and generally I use my capacitance meter anyway. You know that if you watch the channel. And I would like the bleep to work in the Mr. Bleep fashion, so we get a long bleep on a short, and I would like it to have a short blip on a diode or transistor junction. But other than that, I mean, this seems to work well. I actually like it. The fact it's battery powered means it's also portable. The battery hasn't drained at all yet during this demonstration. I'm not sure how long it lasts. And anyway, I can just connect it to USB-C. I can put this where I can see it, and I can also see it on my computer screen. So guys, that is the XDM1241. The difference, by the way, between the 1241 and the 1041 is the fact this has the built-in lithium battery, and the 1041 doesn't have the lithium battery. As far as I know, other than that, they are the same. This will have other features I haven't demonstrated, frequency, temperature. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you're interested in one of these, have a look in the video description. You will find the coupon discount codes for AliExpress, which work in most countries. If you're watching this after the start of August 2025, we'll have a different set of codes. I'll keep those updated, or at least on my channel, just find the latest codes. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comments down there. I always love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.